we're going to find out that 58-year-old men are 58-year-old men no matter what they look like.
Right.
And Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in the prime of his life.
Yeah.
Look at how fake this fight is. Tyson could have ended it with a knockout here, but instead, he chose to just run around and do nothing.
Actually take a chance at Mike Tyson not being able to do what he used.
Joe Rogan didn't just dismiss the idea of a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul rematch, he obliterated it, leaving no room for debate. While Tyson's legendary career commands respect, his recent involvement in the scripted fight debacle has left fans questioning his integrity. Even Turkish billionaire
fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few years ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. The opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and weave.
Lick, known for flaunting his wealth, mocked Tyson with a jaw-dropping $700 million offer for a rematch. It felt like a taunt, as if saying, if Tyson's willing to sell out, let's see how much he'll go for. Unsurprisingly, both Tyson and Jake Paul backed off the rematch talks, as if they suddenly remembered more.
Man, it's a different thing with that guy.
Well, it's like Matt always says, play to your strengths.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
but you
doubt.
know, you got to take that payday. I mean, what did he make out of that fight? He probably made $10 million.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger
than,
The only
younger
time
than.
he fought another boxer his size was
He
Tom
lost.
Fury, and he lost.
But don't worry, Joe Rogan swooped in to deliver the cold, hard truth about why this rematch is never happening.
What other sport would we let a 58-year-old man compete other than golf?
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we letting this happen?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but he's made for it, man. Like he's made
Mike
for it.
is?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Listen,
what he
I'm-
is.
Dude, he's perfectly capable of knocking him.
More pressing commitments. Meanwhile, Rogan swooped in to deliver a brutal dose of reality about why this fight will never happen, and fans couldn't agree more. Tyson, known for his ferocity in the ring, seemed like a shadow of himself during the November 15th match. His punches lacked power, his footwork was absent, and his energy suggested he'd rather be anywhere else. The glaring question remains: was Tyson genuinely out of shape, or was he simply not trying? Fans have speculated whether the fight was scripted, and Rogan's takedown of the idea only fueled.
Tyson versus Paul script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it.
That skepticism. For now, the dream or nightmare of a rematch seems destined to fade away. This wasn't the Mike Tyson we've respected for years. This was a Tyson who looked like he'd rather be sipping tea than throwing punches. Enter Joe Rogan, who wasted no time calling out the charade. Rogan went in hard, mocking Tyson's sluggish punches and turtle-paced movements. He didn't hold back, labeling the fight a complete con job. Rogan argued that if Tyson could throw a fight without putting Jake Paul on the mat, what's stopping him from doing it again? According to Rogan, Tyson wasn't there to win, he was there.
Let me ask you your opinion about last night. Did you stay up to watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
I actually did. I actually watched it, and I felt, while watching it, I felt disgusted at Jake Paul for putting this together, knowing that Tyson was 58 years old. See, I'm a fighter myself, and I once tried coming back at 48 years old, and my body just shut down.
There for the paycheck. And when you think about it, it makes sense. Tyson didn't look like a man trying to reclaim his glory. He looked like a man clocking in for a payday.
His Excellency Turkey al-Sheikh, he wants to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and he's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million.
Legacy? Forget it. This was all about the money. Then came the twist. Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, led by Turkish billionaire Turki İlik, reportedly offered a jaw-dropping $700 million.
So, when you're going to fight a 28-year-old like Jake Paul, against Tyson, who is a legend. He's a national treasure, a world treasure. I felt a little disgusted. Not on Mike Tyson. I feel bad for Tyson, but you know what? I'm proud of Tyson. But Jake Paul, hey, if you want to fight Zurdo right now, let's do it, and he will knock you.
Dollars for a rematch. That's not just big money, that's forget your legacy money. For $700 million, who wouldn't step back into the ring with Jake Paul? Sure, Tyson's a legend, but even legends have their price. That kind of cash makes you reconsider everything, legacy included. Rogan's blunt assessment hurt because it rang true. Tyson wasn't fighting for glory, he was fighting for his bank account. Then there's Jake Paul, the man who's turned questionable fights and viral stunts into a thriving career. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to get attention. He's not winning boxing matches for his skill. He's winning the game of drama, clicks, and spectacle. Jake is a walking reality show.
Such an incredible fight, and bring it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something to surprise or not. We have a lot to fight.
And that's exactly why he's still in the spotlight. When the Tyson rematch fell apart, Jake still came out on top. Why? Because Jake Paul never has to face someone who could truly challenge him. Instead, he keeps riding the wave of controversy without ever being tested. It's genius, really. Why risk getting knocked out when you can bask in the spotlight of a cancelled fight? Joe Rogan's take on Jake Paul's career is brutally honest. To Rogan, Jake's boxing isn't about sportsmanship, it's about views, headlines, and pure drama. Jake isn't playing for competition, he's playing for fame. And why face the risk of a real fight when the spectacle alone keeps him winning?
Like, people don't understand what a champ he was. Like, he wasn't just the heavyweight champion of the world, he was an executioner.
Jake Paul keeps the hype train rolling without ever risking exposure for his lack of skill. Avoiding the Tyson rematch is just another way to keep the clicks and controversy alive. Why risk getting knocked out or humiliated when you can keep pretending to be a champion? For Jake, it's a calculated move that ensures his brand stays untarnished. On the other hand, Mike Tyson's legacy, once built on fear and unmatched respect, is starting to slip. In his prime, Tyson was the epitome of dominance. From 1985 to 19...
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40.
90. He made history as the youngest heavyweight champion at just 20 years old. By then, he was dismantling opponents with jaw-dropping knockouts, leaving fans in awe. Tyson's raw power was unparalleled, and his mere presence could shake even the most seasoned fighters. But now, in the twilight of his career, Tyson's decline is impossible to ignore. The man who once terrified the boxing world seems hesitant, backing away from rematches and fading from the public eye. The aura of invincibility that defined his legacy feels increasingly distant. Take Tyson's refusal to rematch Jake Paul after their first bout, a fight many suspect was more spectacle than competition. By closing the door on future fights...
Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people are coming around.
Tyson has raised questions about the impact on his legacy. Joe Rogan hasn't held back on the topic, criticizing Tyson's decision in a 2024 podcast. Rogan called it a betrayal of fans who once idolized him, accusing Tyson of prioritizing comfort over the challenge of redemption. He even suggested that Tyson's refusal tarnishes his once untouchable legacy, which remained pristine until his infamous 1990 loss to Buster Douglas. Rogan's harsh words resonate with fans who remember Tyson as the embodiment of boxing dominance. Now his actions suggest a man more focused on avoiding risk than reclaiming past glory.
A lot of things about this.
You're just a big fight fan.
Yeah.
You love boxing.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Where did that come from?
From the youngest generation.
The open question of why Tyson won't return to the ring continues to divide opinions. His age is certainly a factor. At 58, health and injury risks weigh heavily on any athlete. Still, for fans who once marveled at his ferocity, Tyson's reluctance to fight again feels like a disappointing chapter in an otherwise legendary career. It's not just about age. Mike Tyson's health has been a public concern for years. Decades of hard living and injuries have taken their toll, leaving his body far from its prime. Many believe Tyson's hesitation toward rematches isn't just about physical limitations, it's fear of public perception. He's acutely aware of the risks, but also how fragile his reputation has become. Another poor performance, or worse, a knockout.
It is not something to surprise or not. We have a lot to fight before, and in the kingdom we are focusing in a lot of things.
At the hands of Jake Paul could damage his legacy beyond repair. Tyson may be afraid of confirming the whispers. He's no longer the baddest man on the planet. For someone who once defined dominance in the ring, that's a hard reality to face. So why would Tyson, a man who's already made a fortune, risk his health and legacy for another payday? The answer seems clear: money. At 58, it's unlikely Tyson needs the cash to survive, but when a massive offer is on the table, it's hard to say no, even if it comes at the expense of his legacy. The fear of falling further from his legendary status may be holding him back, but the lure of wealth remains tempting. Under Turki Alik's leadership, Saudi Arabia has been pouring resources into hosting major sporting events.
He's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million to knock out Jake Paul. And it's all coming from
aiming to position itself as a global entertainment hub. From Formula One to boxing, the kingdom is making bold moves to draw international attention. With Mike Tyson's name still a powerful brand, even if his punches have lost their edge, the $700 million offer wasn't just about the fight, it was about using Tyson to spotlight Saudi Arabia and make a global statement. The fight would have been a spectacle, no doubt, but at what personal cost for Tyson? By accepting such an offer, he risked compromising everything he once stood for. In the 80s and 90s, Tyson was defined by his toughness, fearlessness, and drive to fight for titles, respect, and love for the sport. Now, it seems those values have shifted. Whether Tyson admits it or not, he appears to be trading legacy for cash. And while many fighters have taken similar paths, for someone of Tyson's stature, the trade feels particularly stark. Plenty of fighters have made similar moves. Muhammad Ali did it, Floyd Mayweather did it, but Tyson's situation feels different. He wasn't just about the money. Tyson was a street kid who clawed his way to the top, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history. For him, it was about respect, dominance, and proving himself to the world. That's why the idea of Tyson taking a multi-million-dollar deal for a rematch with Jake Paul feels like a betrayal of everything he once stood for. This situation paints a grim picture of Tyson's post-boxing career. Instead of solidifying his legacy with meaningful challenges, he risks being remembered not for his unmatched knockout power, but for participating in gimmicky fights. The man who once ruled the boxing world with an iron fist has become another cog in the spectacle-driven entertainment machine. That's not how people wanted to remember Mike Tyson. He was supposed to be an icon, the fighter who gave everything in the ring, the man who instilled fear in his opponents. Now, his legacy is at risk of being overshadowed by decisions that scream money grab instead of champion. It's a stark reminder that even legends aren't immune to the pull of fame and fortune, but it's a cost that fans may find hard to forgive.